Good evening. This is the SoulOhm service.
Good evening, and welcome, and hello to another edition of the SoulOhm service with me, SoulOhm, Kris Lethal Coils, and our very special guest, the Reverend Vapes, Dave himself. Good evening, gentlemen, and how are we?
Davey?
Yep, I'm absolutely cool. I'm so used to watching you guys. I started watching you and forgot I was on the show. Yeah, I'm cool. Thank you very much.
Good evening, chat. Good evening, spanners. I hope you are all well. We can chill now. We can relax. Kris is all sorted now. He's got his.
Hold on. Bill Richards says you can put your headphones on now, Kris. Why? Are you guys getting echo?
Not yet. You shouldn't do.
No.
I hope to God not.
No, I can't hear any echo. So you sound all right to me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's all right. You interrupt. Yeah, I'll leave you to it. Well, I'll let you say hello to chat then.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, because I have no keyboard. So let's go ahead and start. Papa Lazaru, JP Ward, how are you? JR Biker, Little Bro Vapes Reviews, how are you? Yo. Colette, Reverend, hey, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much.
JP Vape Show, how we doing? Orion's, good to see you. Bill Richards, Bill Byrne, Grimmy, Grumpy Old Vapors here too. Ian Morgan, we've got a lot in already. Chris Doyle, Lynn Smith, UK Andy, how we doing, guys? Jules Mama Vapes is in too, and Unicron. Rockin', guys.
I love that name. That name sounds ace, doesn't it? Unicron.
Unicron's whole.
That sounds like a transformer.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does. It does too. He does sound like
every time he does something.
Wouldn't it be funny to get him to come on the show? And if he has crap connection, he'll just sound like a transformer.
Yeah, it just sounds ace. That
he should like plug his network connection in, unplug it, plug it in. Yeah, that would be funny.
No, that would be cool. But yeah, it does. You've got to admit though, he does sound like a transformer. That name.
Absolutely.
Like it. So. We best start the show off like we pretty much always do. Now, since you're the guest, you're going to have to tell us what you're vaping on.
A Spy. Where's my camera? Is that it up there? One of these all-in-ones with some kind of fruit cereal. The thing is, you see, I'm in a very small room with two expensive computers, so there's going to be no mechs, no tubes, no James Bond builds or anything like that. This was my first ever vape, a Smok Brit 1 Mini, believe it or not. Retrospect cherry cola in there.
Oh, you can't beat a bit of cherry cola.
Oh, it's lovely, absolutely lovely. And a little bit of mech action, but I've got a 0.5 build in here.
Oh, nice and sensible.
217 with the Jazz RDA on top, all the way from Croatia. This is my favourite juice of all time, vanilla sugar biscuit. It's absolutely divine. Love it. Absolutely love it. I've got a 0.5 build in here I put in just for tonight, so I don't cloud the place out. So, yep, that's me. Just the 3 vapes tonight.
Oh, bless you. Kris, what are you up to?
I'm doing well. What have I got going on tonight? Well, I have apparently lost the top cap to my Equitas, but I have the double barrel from Squid Industries and Black Equitas once I can find the top cap to it. Oh, there it is.
You're very disorganized this evening, aren't you? Or this afternoon for you.
My life every day is chaos. I misplace things about 100 times a day. All the time. I'm also on with the Rage and Apocalypse Gen 2.
What colour is that?
Purple. We're gonna go over this every single time. Oh man.
Do you know anybody that does body spraying?
No.
No. All right. I just wondered.
I know. I know. I'll have to get it changed.
You can buy wraps for them, you know.
Can you really? I might have to get one. Oh man. What else I got? I've got that Noisy Cricket V3 with the knuckle still, running that in series mode 0.31.
How you getting on with that?
I'm loving it. I really am loving it.
Meant to ask you, when the ones that I've seen round about here in the UK, where the metal joins the wood, there's normally it feels like there's an edge to it. Is yours smooth? Or...
No, mine has. Where you're talking about right here?
Yeah.
And up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and this is also a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you can hear that.
I saw it. I seen it.
Yeah, it's a little squidgy. It's a little squidgy, and it makes a little bit of a noise if you squeeze it too much. But other than that, it's been really, really nice. It does feel solid. Aside from that, like I don't squeeze it like that. So, TVP, what's going on, my man?
And we've got
Deadly
Hip Hop
Sinners
Juice
in two.
as well in the house. Good evening.
Yeah. But if I had something to say about this setup, it would be I wish I could find... I've got to set up a different RDA for this, because I love the knuckle, don't get me wrong, but the airflow, that airflow is just really, really, really smooth and airy, like way too much air for me. And I can cut it down, sure, but only by a little bit. But it does hit very well.
Just make sure you take the batteries out of that, Kris, when you're not using it.
Oh, absolutely. I take the batteries. Whenever I'm not using anything, I always take the batteries out and then I'll put it on the shelf.
Because mine nearly burnt the house down about 3 months ago.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't know there were batteries in there. It was switched off, and it was put in a drawer for about 2 months. And then I got a call from the wife, and she said, one of your mods is going off. And I said, well, just unscrew the RDA quickly and chuck it out the back door. And she doesn't even know what an RDA is. So I've had to come scooting over from work, and there was, you could imagine how much smoke there was, because all the cotton had burnt. And it's an absolute nightmare. There were 2 Sanyo A's in there as well, which are quite powerful. And it was switched off, but they've got built-in protection, and I think some kind of a circuit had formed because I'd left the RDA on top. And I think over time it had dripped into the 510, gone into the board, and caused it to auto fire. So I had a really lucky escape there.
I've heard, I think I mentioned it last week, over on social media, various bits and pieces, I've heard quite a few Squonk regulated mods doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
People have left batteries in them, and obviously juice has got into the board.
Yeah.
And
so I won't even leave any regulated or semi-regulated device with batteries in, even if I'm gone for 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
I shall either take it with me or take the batteries out.
I don't even leave batteries in my Macs.
No.
Absolutely. No. I take them out. At the end of the day, the ones that I'm not going to keep on my nightstand, which I only keep like 2 of them there, the rest of them, they all get the batteries stripped out of them, put off to where the batteries are, and they get set up on the shelf.
Good man.
I won't leave them in there. Just for that reason, just in case.
Yeah.
Who was it that said that? Hold on. Yep, Ian Morgan. I don't know if you just saw, but I did take my screwdriver and I did tighten those screws on the bottom just a bit more. He suggested that. So.
Any better?
Mine?
Yeah, any better?
Oh, they weren't really loose. I just he suggested that. I guess that's a thing that has to happen, I suppose.
So that's all you're vaping on?
Sorry, Deadly Sinner. Lethal only takes his batteries out of his mechs as he needs them for his vibrating fleshlight. TVP, Sinner knows. Fuck you!
See you later,
Man,
Gaylor
nope.
Bops.
What else do I have? I've also got the RAM box from Stentorian Wotofo with the profile RDA on top. And I know TVP is going to tell me that's garbage. But whatever. And I don't know if you guys have noticed the trend going on here, but I've started swapping from my mechs to boxes. I don't know what's going on, guys.
It's a cyclical thing. You'll come back round again eventually. I've
Yeah.
just started vaping 18650 tubes again after being on 30Ts for the last 10 months.
Yeah,
And it's just nice to change things up now and again, isn't it?
it is.
Oh, yeah, you've got to.
And the last one that I'm on with is the VGod Elite setup. I've got that RDA and the Elite mech as well. And juice, what am I repping on today? Well, the normal pumpkin spice from Pancake House. We've got some strawberry jam monster.
Lovely.
Oh, I love it.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. That was one of my first juices that I've ever tried when I first started vaping, and I absolutely adore the strawberry. Plus, we got some Yalix Turkish tobacco going on.
Oh, you reviewed that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I love that juice. It at first it was a little bit odd for me because I've never done like straight tobacco juice, and I quickly became very much so in love with that juice. It's very smooth, very mild, and tasty, very tasty. And the last juice that I'm on with today is Grizzly from Animal, which I did a review. I just have to edit and upload it, but that's a beautiful chocolate chip cookie with milk.
You are enjoying
That's
that.
what
aren't
it's-
you can always tell
that's
when
what's
you
up to
like
me.
a juice because he really goes deep.
He accentuates his
Yeah,
words.
yeah, you can always
Do.
tell. It's like, yeah, I'm vaping on this, and then he's, yeah, I'm really vaping on this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, spend a little more time on those ones.
He also has a slight sexual look in his eyes.
Doesn't he? He's got that little glint, hasn't he? Well, I best tell you what I'm vaping on. I am vaping on the BTFC with the Deja Vu mech. Really enjoying this one. This is really nice. Review coming up of both of these next week. I've got the Squid Ink Deep Sea Liquids St. Clemens on with that one. Very, very nice. I've got my double barrel V3 with the drop with Wish, which is a pear blueberry. Got that one on there. I've also got, what did we eventually start calling this, Chris? You Are Us?
The Urus, yeah.
Urus. Got the Urus
Urus.
with the Aquatus on top of that, and I've got Blasmelon in that. And that's basically it. That's oh yeah, one more.
I forgot one.
You had your turn. Oh, you. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I had to put the Danessa out there.
Oh,
I had
it's
to.
gorgeous,
And big
though.
love and thanks to my man Jay Beasy. Well, Sean Beasy. Sorry, not Jay Beasy. I was about to say Jay Money. Sean Beasy, buddy, thank you so much for the donation and loaner for the review. And I love my double barrel, bro. Thank you.
That double barrel's ace.
Oh,
I mean, I've got both versions now, and I love them to bits. Absolutely love them.
like I've never used one before, and I am very impressed. It's exactly what I had expected it was going to be, so I'm very happy with it. Look
Do
up
I find the
Happy
Aquatus
Splash.
whistly? No, I don't find the Aquatus whistly at all. No, definitely
all.
not. No.
No, I love my Equitas.
Now I've just vaped it. It sounds whistly to me.
Oh,
Did you hear that though?
You've
Hold
cursed
on.
it.
You've just cursed it, John. Thank you. No, it's not whistly.
Whistly, no. Airy,
Yes.
yes. I can hear the air, but I don't find it whistly.
No, it's not whistly.
I have a feeling that Equitus is the best RDA I don't have.
It's an absolute fantastic RDA. It
Everybody
really is.
tells me. Everybody, and I haven't got around to buying one yet.
And
I
believe
have
it or
three.
not, I still haven't reviewed it. I still have not had a chance to review this yet, and I love it, and it's always on rotation all the time.
I think I did.
Did you?
I think I did a review of it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
I did. Early days. It was one of your first reviews.
yes.
Right, guys. Well, obviously, we have a special guest. And this special guest, David, I'm kind of sort of like a fan of yours because I absolutely love your camera work. I really do. I love how you do your camera stuff. It's sort of like, I aspire to get to that kind of level. So, before we get into cameras and all things like that, how did you get into vaping? A little bit about yourself.
I got into vaping because the wife was nagging me, because I smoked for 30 plus years. She smoked for some years and then stopped, and I carried on. And my dad's second wife started vaping after 50 years of smoking. Yeah, and she brought round a pen very similar to this smock. And I said, can I have a go on that? She said, yeah, and I had a go on it, and I thought, you know what, that's all right, that is. So the next day I went to Grey Hayes in Birmingham, where I live, and I actually bought this. I've had this almost 2 years now, and I think it was 24 mg nicotine, and it's a tobacco flavour, because I went in and I said, listen, give me something that is as close as possible to the smoking experience. And so they gave me this. They advised me correctly. They didn't try and sell me a smock alien or something like that. And I went outside and I took about 20 blasts on it and nearly fell over from the nicotine rush. I thought, this is right up my street. I'm a vapor. Yeah. And that was it. By the time I got home, I said to the missus, I said, I'm converted.
So how long have you been actually vaping then?
It'll be 2 years, March the 8th.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well,
and I picked March the 8th because I can never remember my wedding anniversary.
Wait,
so I thought,
how many years?
Almost 2.
Almost 2.
Almost
Mine
2.
was
yeah.
March 30th.
But I didn't fall in love with vaping until I tried my first RDA. And that is when I really got sucked into vaping, and I thought, that is it. I'm never going to smoke again. This is so much more enjoyable. You know, the intensity of the flavour that you get off your first RDA, you know, compared to something like this, which is like, I don't know, 25 watts or something.
So what was your first RDA? My
first RDA was the Lush Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember who by, was it Flotofo, perhaps?
Yeah.
And I remember my first build, I watched Vaping with Vic, how to build, and I watched Daniel, DJ LSB.
Yeah.
And I might have watched Postman as well. And I remember I had like sandbags around me, a bomb suit, a baking tray with a hole in so I could see what I was doing. I was so nervous. And when I got it to fire, I was so excited. And I found it really easy to wick. That wasn't a problem. Got all the juice in, went out the back, took a blast of my favourite donut, and I thought, this is vaping. and I've been an RDA man ever since.
So what type of an RDA fan are you? Are you sort of like Clouds Bro Clouds, or are you more of a distinct flavour man?
Flavour. That's where the pleasure is for me. Same as eating, it's all about flavour. Vaping, for me, is all about flavour.
So obviously you got into vaping, so what made you become a reviewer?
God, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I said to the wife, in fact, I said, listen, I love editing. I love doing montages, because I've done other video work in the past. I'm not a bad speaker. I can break things down. I can analyse things. I might have a go at reviewing, you know. And so I did. And that was the Goon 25 back in October. And I very nearly stopped after that because I hated the speaking part.
Yeah.
In front of the camera. I hated it. It was, you were talking about a one take yesterday or the other day. must have been about 30 or 40 takes. I couldn't even speak my own name. I was just so nervous. But I seem to have broken through that barrier now, and I'm not so shy about the camera.
So I've got to ask, what is your photography background then? Because obviously, someone just coming into it don't do video production like you do, that's not done it before. So what's your background?
I picked up my first camera about 4 years ago, and enjoyed a bit of photography, but I just shot video mainly of kids. Then I went out into the wide world and started shooting nature. And then I thought, you know what, I want to start shooting people. So I started going on. Yeah.
Do you know something? Before we go any further, that did sound dodgy.
Yeah.
I want to start shooting people.
I first started shooting kids, then I went to shooting nature, and then I'm going to shoot people.
We understand what you meant, but it just sounded really
I'll
funny.
say film. I want...
Go get him, boy!
Oh boy.
Before you go any further, I used to do a lot of air rifle shooting. And in Doncaster, there used to be a place called Donny Shooters, where you used to be at air rifles, your pellets and all that lot. And there was this whole Polish guy there. And we went in, a couple of me and my mates, and we were sort of like, you know, are you big, hard and clever and that, like, looking at guns and that. And we turned around to the old guy and he says, I says to him, what do you shoot then? You know, I was expecting rabbits and things like that. He goes, I shoot cans. And it's like, you shoot cans? Yeah. Americans, Africans.
Africans.
Sorry, getting back to you, sir. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah, so what I did, I started going on demonstrations. So whenever there's demonstrations anywhere across the country, I started going on demonstrations and I started shooting videos amongst the people who were obviously in a heightened state of emotion. And that is when you get the best shots, the best images, and the best stories. Then I did a documentary, but I won't go into that here because it's quite controversial. And then I stopped for a while, but missed being creative. And so I think the idea of doing reviews subconsciously was me wanting to be creative again. Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, you one of the first really ones that stood out to me was obviously your Expo video. And the way that you capture the people, so like it's almost not posed.
Yeah.
And I loved that bit about it. It was so like you caught people almost, I wouldn't say off guard, but in more their natural state. Is there a technique behind that?
Yes,
or?
yes, there is. Because I've shot a few weddings as well. I filmed a few weddings.
Shot your own weddings here, boy.
And what I do, I get my camera. It's a camera that I use. I get my camera like this, right, and I'm focusing, and I've got them in focus, right, and I start talking to them about how I want them to pose. What they don't realise is that's when I'm filming. So they're chatting to me, yeah, and they might be getting ready or flicking their hair or whatever it is, or laughing or smiling or joking. I've already shot what I want. Then I pretend to do the video while they're doing the stupid cheesy nonsense, and that's how I do it. So it's mainly about 90% of it is just natural, and they don't realise.
Yeah, it was. I've got to admit, if you guys have not seen his Expo video, you've got to go and watch it. It is absolutely brilliant. In fact, Expo should have sort of like kept that as a promotion video, because it was really, really. It felt like a promotion video. Do you know what I mean? From Expo that someone would do. So yeah, I was very, very impressed. So getting on to your mechs, I've got to talk about your Kennedy review. There was 2 sections in that video that I really, really enjoyed. And it sounds really petty, but you know when you cut your scissors, when you was cutting the cotton?
Yeah.
You had the music in the background and you heard that snip. And I just thought that was just really very arty. And I really enjoyed that. So how did you plan something like that? Or do you just go in and I'm going to shoot it like that?
No, I take a lot more footage than I actually use. Yeah, and I tend not to plan the shots. I tend to just go through shooting it from getting it out the box to firing it, and then I take the shots out of there that I want. But what I'll have is like my camera on a tripod there. Now I don't use a macro lens. This is what I use. It's a magnifying glass.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It clips on to the front of your lens, right? So you've got this bit here. So depending on the diameter of your lens, it just clips onto most lenses basically, and it gives you a ×5 magnification.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I'm looking through the viewfinder, and I've got my snips here and the cotton here, and I don't move the camera, I move the subject until the subject is in focus. Yeah, but I might have been filming that for about a minute whilst I'm trying to get it in focus, and then when it comes to the editing suite, it's just 2 seconds of footage, and that's what I use. Yeah, so I never get anything right first time, unless by a fluke.
Yeah, because there's a big difference to sort of like how I do it and how you do it. It's so like you do it such a I would class it what I call arty-farty. It just feels really nice and smooth, and it's very in focus, and it's sort of like almost planned the way that you do it. It looks really, really nice.
The shots that I choose are planned, but the shots that I actually film aren't. So I don't say, oh, what shall I film next? I know. What I do, I might have about 3 hours of footage for just 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, and that's how I do it. And I just take the best bits. And the music helps as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because that helps it to flow organically. And often there's timings in there that you're not aware of, but it works. You know, like the beat or the change of the tempo.
Yeah.
And then you get a change of image. And so you just get into the flow of that and get carried away and enjoy it, and you're not quite sure why you've enjoyed it. And that's how all music videos work.
Yeah, it's that side of it. I absolutely, out of the whole reviewing process, it's the up and closest side of it and the editing side that I absolutely love. And I can spend absolutely ages on computer just playing around, trying to get it. I mean, I'm self-taught, I'm just learning myself, but yeah, I enjoyed that bit. So,
Bill H wants to know, Rev, what editor do you use?
I use Final Cut Pro 10.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Mac.
Oh,
and
right.
the reason I use that is because it's simple. I'm a technophobe, and I know that with Windows, I think you've got Sony Vegas and you've got Premiere, and I looked at them and they look far too complicated. Whereas Macs are designed for idiots or technophobes, and it basically does it for you.
Mac is also very well known for their audio-video editing, it's. I think that that's primarily where Apple has been geared towards, is the audio-video side of things.
So that's why I bought an all-in-one iMac. So everything is like on just one system.
So what is your setup? What type of camera do you use?
I've got mine here. This is a Sony A7S II. That's a 55-1.8 lens on the front. I've got 3 or 4 lenses. I've got 16 to 35, 55, and 70 to 200, which I don't use for reviews, and a 28mm f2, and that's it.
And what lighting do you use?
I actually have started using a table lamp. You know, that's where you can like manipulate them into different positions. It's got like a springy. Yeah, that's all I use. But the A7S II has such a bright sensor that I can shoot almost in the dark with this, which lends itself to creative opportunities if I'm just using partial light, you know, for like shadows and high contrast shots. The only drawback with this is it's a full frame camera, and with a full frame camera you don't have a great deal of depth of field, particularly when you're shooting macro. you're much better off, in fact, if you're shooting macro, to use like either a micro four thirds or a crop sensor camera.
Right.
But I also shoot in 4K, but I export at 1080, so I can crop in 2 times more, yeah, in my editing suite and still have that crystal clear image.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's not degrading if you actually zoom in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if anything, if there's any artifacts or noise in there, when you export at 1080, it crushes all of those, and it crushes the artifacts even more when you upload to YouTube because of YouTube compression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say I've uploaded to YouTube, and what video looks decent on my computer and everything, and you've double-checked it, and once you've uploaded it, you think, where did all them pixels come from? I've had that quite a few times happen to me on YouTube with their compression rate. Another question that I've got, I want to ask, and it's more for people in chat. When obviously you're doing your up and closes, what advice could you give to other people in how you do your processing, or any advice that you could give us as reviewers and people thinking about getting into reviewing?
Purely for the up and close, I would say, firstly, any kind of camera that shoots at 1920 by 1080 is good enough. You do not need 4K, firstly. Secondly, I would say get one of these.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those.
And it is called it's a Raynox. Actually, I'll put it in chat here. Yeah, it's a Raynox DCR-250, and I think they're about £50. But that is a lot. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's
Yep.
all right.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
saying hello to Mike.
Yeah. Hello, Mike. It's a lot cheaper than buying a macro lens.
Yeah, hell of a lot.
And it has these, you probably won't see this, but it has these kind of,
The tabby.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll clip on most lenses. See the diameter changes?
That is a clever little idea, that.
Isn't it?
And then I've had that about 4 years since I started because I wanted to do macro photography. And you can buy extension tubes which go between your camera and the lens. But I think that's a better solution because you can just keep switching it. It's really, and it's really high quality glass as well. It's not just like it's not just a magnifying glass. It's really, really high quality glass. And if you go on the macro forums, you'll see how people use it. There's videos on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
As to how to use that.
I've never seen one of them before, to be honest with you. Never seen one. I've learned something new now. Now I know.
Well, I've never seen
Amazon wish list. Amazon wish list is going on there.
But it really is a cracking. It's my favourite bit of kit out of everything that I've got. I also I don't use a slider. I don't use a Steadicam. All I use is a tripod on 2 legs. Yeah. So you know those shots where something's in focus and it's out of focus and it's in focus, which you'll see on that Kennedy review. All I'm doing, I'm moving the tripod on 2 legs like that. Yeah, backwards and forwards like that, and then I'll just use a little bit of that shot where it's just coming into focus and then just going out of focus. Then I'm on the next shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it's down to I know myself. So like you record a hell of a lot, but it's all down to that editing as well. It's that art of editing is very, very. Does take you a while to learn how to do it. The transitions from going from one scene to the next and keeping it flowing is a bit of a learning curve.
But it's an enjoyable learning curve. Yeah, actually filming it itself can be a pain in the ass, particularly when you're shooting macro. But the editing side of it's so enjoyable to learn because when you start getting results on your screen, you get all excited. And you think, wow, that looks fantastic. You know, and then most of what I do that's good, I found out by accident. Yeah. It's as simple as that, and I'm thinking I have to write that down and use that again.
It's daft little cheats, like resting your camera on a piece of cloth and moving it across your table.
Yep.
And it's little things like that. It's so like I've started watching more on YouTube about how camera works and little, should we say, cheats instead of having to go out and buying gimbals and things like that.
Yeah.
So like these little tricks that people use just to. Another one that I've tried. I've been messing about with my camera is actually getting a mirror and just holding it below my lens. So you get that kind of almost sea water reflection type of feel to it. It's so like little tiny tricks like that of the trade that it's so like I find fascinating. And I'm big Heath Robinson type of person. So I love like, oh, this is how I did this instead of having to spend X amount of pounds because we're all on a budget, as you know.
Thing. When I do my recordings, I treat each and every recording session as kind of like a learning period as well. Like I like you were saying, you know, you do your recording and you notice something that works better, and it's like, okay, mark that down. You got to do this next time. And so that's the way I look at it. Each time I'm learning something, you know, a new way to do something.
There are other editing tricks you can use whereby you trick the viewer's brain. And you do that by something called matching shots. And I did that in the expo video. You might have, I might be panning the camera this way as something's turning. And then the next shot will be a woman turning her head. So you get this flow. So you've got a complete change of subject. You've got a make mod and a female. And yet they work perfectly together because of the movement of the subjects. And you can do the same with color as well as shape. As well as movement, and I've started employing that in my next review, which should be up next week sometime. Just using matching shots because the brain doesn't catch up quick enough as to what's happening.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, that's clever. That.
Mike's Mex Reviews wants to know what is a good, cheaper, and budget DSLR to record reviews with.
Let me see. I would go second hand. I would go second hand on a Canon. I would seriously. I would go second hand. I'd hit the second hand market. I say Canon because Canon have the best colors. I use Sony because this is a better all-rounder for me because of the low light capabilities, because I don't just shoot reviews, it's all manner of things that I do in all manner of conditions. But if I was just shooting reviews, I would not use that camera. I would use a crop sensor camera for a start, that's full frame, and I would shoot something that renders colors a lot better. The Sony's really poor for stuff like white balance and skin tones.
See, when I was getting my Canon, because I've got the Canon 200D, and that's like an entry-level DSLR, and it was so like I was umming and ahhing between that and the Sony, and it was so like, no, I'm going to go for the Canon just for that exact reason, because I got told, so obviously Sonys aren't that great for, it's more white balance than anything else. They struggle with it, so that's why I went for Canon.
Sony unfortunately uses science over art, so their scientific calculations for skin tone are actually correct, but Canon employ art instead, so they have more of a beauty profile in their across their range. So obviously they're much better for shooting reviews, for filming yourself, for filming weddings, for filming family. You know, whereas with the Sony, I've got to prat about for ages to get anything that's remotely close.
So these kind of videos that you create, what sort of like kind of time period does it take you to do these? Because it can't be, it's not a 2-minute job what you do. It's sort of like...
No, the Kennedy review, which is my favourite, because I started playing around with torches and stuff like that. I've started introducing light into my videos, and that probably took about 7 hours to film, and it's only like about 3 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
So it shows you what I go through in the editing suite. But funnily enough, the talking bit of that I did in 2 takes. Yeah, I know. It's the best I've done yet. Yeah, instead of like the 30 or 40 it took for me to do my first review.
Oh, trust me, it's very rarely I ever do it in one take. Very rarely. I always end up with wobble gob. As
That's terrible,
or you forget something and it's all like, you said something wrong. It's like, no, start again.
I just start digressing.
Yeah.
You start thinking live about something you haven't thought about before, and you go off script and start talking about that instead.
Or then you start adding stuff that you don't need to be in there.
I know.
Yeah, that's terrible for that. Do you suffer that with Kris?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
Right, well,
I'm just listening to you guys. Honestly, I had a question, and it has to do with the top-downs background of the object, the subject of the shot. What do you recommend? Lighter, darker, solid, patterned?
Depends on the look you're going for. For the Vindicator review, the Kennedy, I used a fruit bowl because I wanted green and orange in the background because it just looks so good through my viewfinder. I thought I'd keep, because it was there by accident, and I went to move it and I thought, no, I like them colours because they were out of focus. So the bokeh looked gorgeous, and I thought I'd keep
kind of
it
blended.
Yeah, whereas I've just done the Elevate RTA filming for a review next week. For that, I've used a black background because it just seemed to fit.
Yep. See, I have what did I film the other day? I think it was it was the V-God Elite. I filmed that. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I was recording the top down, and I have a longer board that's got some like semi-gloss white paint on it, and I was very, very impressed in comparison to like some of the others that I'd had. It was very easy to get the lighting right. I found that the white kind of like absorbed and reflected some of that light, to be honest, and just kind of eliminated more of the shadows that I had been trying to get rid of. But that's just, just what I've found, and I wasn't sure if you had opinions on how to get that good poppy look to it.
The poppy look is simply getting your subject in focus and the background out of focus. That's what we call bokeh, and that is done with depth of field. That is done with certain lenses, or obviously this, which I showed you earlier, that gives you a razor sharp depth of field. So you put that in front of your camera and everything behind it will be out of focus, and that will make your subject matter pop and look sharper than it actually is.
Right.
Yeah.
That the equipment that I have is just all I use is my C920 for both my FaceTime and top downs. That's it. I don't have any other like camera like the Canon or the Nikon or anything like that. But what I do have are like my camera phone. I have a bunch of like clip-on macro lenses and stuff for that I used to use. I still do for my coil shots. I do very up-close macro shots of the coils. But other than that, I don't really have anything I can use for magnifier. But I don't think I really need it with the C920. I don't feel like that's something I need. I think I can get up close and have it focus even without it.
Yeah.
We use what we have, right?
Exactly. I mean, I already had all the gear that I used before I decided I was going to try out reviews, because obviously I was using it as a hobby for other things.
I tell you one thing, though, kiddo, you have certainly got an eye. And it's not just the equipment, and it's not just what you've got to hand. It's the actual person's eye as well, and you've definitely got an eye for it. I've got to admit.
It's not the equipment that matters, it's the skill of the person behind it.
Yeah, it is, very much so. Right, we are coming up to quarter two. If anyone's got a question in chat they would like to give us, go ahead now.
That went so fast.
I know. Kris, what's coming up for review next week?
Well, I've got that V-God coming out hopefully this weekend. I'm going to try and do an RDA. I'm going to try for another RDA review, as I haven't done one of those in a while. But I've got that Grizzly juice that's coming up as well. I still have to do the editing for that. Not quite sure what's next after that. I still have to sit down and write out my list, my queue of items that I want to do, and the order I want to do them in. But right now, that's what I've got coming out. That's pretty much already all set. I just need to do the editing for is the V-God and the Grizzly juice from Animal Unleashed. But other than that, I've got plenty of other things that need reviews still.
And you, Dave?
Oh, the Danessa. The Danessa. Of course, the Danessa. I have to use that for the next week, and then that's going to come out too.
Ooh. Yes, you've got to use that one. And then you're sending it to me.
I wish I could.
You can.
It's not mine.
He won't know.
Sorry.
Shush.
Sorry,
Shush.
Sean.
Shush. He won't know. Right. Just say you've got it a long time. It takes a while to review. So, Dave, what's coming up on your channel in the near future?
I've got the Serpent Elevate RTA by Matt and Watofo. I've done all the filming for that, but I haven't done the speaking part yet. I'm going to have another 3 or 4 days of testing. I've tried every juice under the sun. I've tried 3 different builds. I want to make sure that I get it right before I try and encourage people to part with money. Because I've decided that if I don't like something, even after I've started reviewing it, I won't review it.
Right.
It's as simple as that. I review because I want others to experience what I've experienced. This came today all the way from Croatia, a bag. But inside the bag, a single 22mm RDA called the Poet.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's Van and Del design, and I've been watching the development of this product now for about 4 or 5 months, and so I shall probably spend a good month on that.
Yeah.
My homie Darren Fowler wants to know if you're going to do a review of the Banaspati.
No, I'm not, but I absolutely love the Banaspati. It is a fan. I think it was you, Mark, who put me onto that. Have you reviewed? Was it you that reviewed that?
No, I am really.
It wasn't.
No.
Well, somebody did, and whoever it was did a good job because I went straight out and got one for 50 quid, and it's an absolutely fantastic mod. It's ugly. It won't win it won't win any beauty awards, but it hits just as hard as my Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a fantastic budget mod. It hits harder than the Brass Dreamer. Beautiful. And then what else am I doing? I've got a mech tube coming from a new UK company called what are they called? I actually wrote it down. Nameless Mods.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, you'd have seen them on Vaping Invaders. And they have a 21700 tube called the Unknown.
Right.
And I managed to get on the list. I got the serial number I wanted, and I think that should be coming in the next week or 2. And I'm really looking forward to doing a review on that because the voltage drop tests that they've done put this right up there.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
nice.
right up there. So I should be doing a Vindicator job on that.
Nice.
Really, yeah, I can't wait, and it's going to be one of those videos that's dark and light, so there's not going to be a lot of color in it. So I've already got the music for it. I've already got an idea of what I'm going to be filming, because this is what I'm like. Once I get a product in my head, I start thinking about it. I search for music for it, and I've already started the review like 2 weeks before I've got it.
Yeah, I can totally appreciate that. Yeah, totally. I mean, especially especially the way that your reviews are, and especially how they're shot, you've got to have a bit of planning.
Yeah.
It's not something that you're going to think, right, I'm going to do this today. You can kind of tell that it's sort of like it's a little bit more planning than I'm just going to do this. Hang on, love, I'm going to. It's not one of
minutes, just dipping in the kitchen.
Yeah, just pop it in here. You could tell, and obviously they are absolutely brilliant. Coming up on my channel, I have got the Deja Vu mod. I have got the BTFC, and I've also got the Vandy Vape Paranoid as well coming up. That's coming up next week. Before we do pop off, because it's coming up to the hour, I think we ought to say our condolences to Vic.
Yeah.
I assume that most people have already, in chat, will already have known that Vic had his studio / office burgled, and basically, from what I can gather, they took everything from his computer, camera work, mics, computer, and a hell of a lot of mods. All
of his giveaway stuff. All of his. Was it something else?
So Vic, if you are watching, you're probably not. You're probably getting ready for your own show. But Vic, big love to you, kiddo. I do know how it feels because it's happened to me twice, and it's not nice. It really isn't nice, and it's a horrible feeling knowing that somebody's actually gone into your personal space, besides obviously them taking what they've took. So thoughts are with you, kiddo. I do believe Mark's doing a charity thing, so you can help fund him. If someone can put that in chat, that'd be really great. It's a PayPal donation type thing in Majiggy.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Jules Mama, thank you very much. So if you want to help and donate to get Vic back up and running again, I'm sure he'll really appreciate it. And Jules has put the link down below. So big love to you, kiddo. I do feel for you, I really do. So just thought I'd say that.
Mark, Vaping with TC asked, at SoulOhm and Lethal Coils, what is a good build on the Goon Mech with the Equitas RDA using Sony VTC5As? My answer, and I typed that in just a minute ago, is personally I would use a 0.1 build with 2636 gauge Nichrome 80 aliens.
Yeah,
That's
I would tend to
build.
agree with you there. Yeah. Anything round about a 0.1, 0.11, round about that area. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was an easy one, wasn't it?
It was an easy one.
Yeah. So, have you got anything else to say? Chrissy boy? Nothing. You're so
I've been quiet. I've been quiet.
You've been so quiet. You're not shy.
Yeah, I've been a good little boy sitting in my corner.
I beg your pardon.
Just listening and watching.
You little funny Connie.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No. And watch out, you got to watch Davey, he'll shoot you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, go and get that sucker.
He's going to start shooting people now.
Oh, bless you.
I've just had 3 messages, 3 new subscribers.
Yes,
nice.
Stuart Niven.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely go
Paul Hannah
subscribe to
and
Davey.
Colette. Thank you.
Good job.
Yes, please go and show your love to the Reverend. I'll just put your link in chat. There we go. I see. I'm getting professional.
I'd also like to say, whilst I can, thanks to everybody who shouted my channel out. That's from people like Mike Vapes, yourself, Mark, Vic, nearly everybody, I think, on the UK reviewed team has like pointed people towards my channel.
And you've got stateside followers too.
Yeah, I know. So I'm really, really grateful for that, because I didn't think I'd get above the 30 subscribers that I got off my Facebook friends.
Oh, bless.
And until a few people started just mentioning my name.
Well, to be honestly, and I'm definitely not blowing smoke up your bum. I love your camera work. I absolutely love it, and it's sort of like every time I watch it, it's porn itself watching it. To be honest with you, for me, I just love what you do. And please keep on doing it. Please bring out more videos, because honestly, I absolutely love them. I'm not going to blow any more smoke up your bum.
No. To be honest, if if anybody's expecting a Vic-like channel where there's 2 or 3 videos a week, that won't happen with my channel unless I win a lottery or something, because I just simply don't have the time. So I think I'll probably average maybe throughout the year probably 1 a month, something like that. Occasionally there might be a spurt of 2 or 3, and then maybe nothing for a couple of months. It depends how my life's going, depends how work's going, and I've got 4 little children as well who tend to take up rather a lot of time.
Out of curiosity, what is your occupation?
I'm a security guard.
You're a security guard?
Yeah, this is why I don't do a great deal, but I'm at work for like 13 hours on a shift. Yep. But you'll often see me popping up on lives all the way through the night, because there's not a great deal to do unless it's all kicking off. Right. You know, so...
Yeah, because I pull, what, 60 hour a week. I'm in an office, boring job. Weighing lorries in and out and sorting MOTs and things like that. So it's all wonderful. But yeah, so I totally get you with the time scale of things, and sort of like how I manage to get what I get done for the little limited amount of time. It's sort of like what you do is really is amazing. Right, we are coming up to the hour, Kris.
Yes, sir, we sure are. I was about to say that too. We got a 4-minute warning.
I know, we got a 4-minute warning.
Yeah.
So I just want to give Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I hope you do come on again. It'd be nice to have you on in a bit later on and see how you're progressing and things like that. That'd be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please go over to the Reverend Vapes channel and give him a subscribe and show him your support. He does some absolutely amazing videos. They are absolutely brilliant. Kris, don't forget to go over him. If he hasn't subscribed to him, please go over and subscribe to Kris Lethal Coils. If you haven't bought Lethal Coils coils, why haven't you? They are some of the most fantastic coils in the whole wide world. Go on, blowing smoke up everyone's arse tonight.
Do you see the red in the cheeks here? Do you see the red? I'd like to thank the little people.
Oh, like yeah, Mark. Definitely. Oh, here we go. And I've got to thank my little spanners in the old chat there. Thank you guys for looking after chat. Do really appreciate that one. And chat as well. Thank you as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Davey, and he can sign us out with a little bit. And then, Kris, you can do your final words of wisdom.
Well, thanks, folks, for having me. And thanks to the wider vaping community for being so welcoming to a new reviewer. And God bless you all.
Kris, you.
Yes, you. That's me. It's my turn.
Kris.
That's me. I'm sorry. I'm out of it. Anyways, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. Mark, thank you for having me again. Davey, awesome to have you here with us tonight, brother. Great tips, great advice, awesome conversation. It's been a pleasure talking with you and hearing what's on your mind and what's in the mind of Reverend Vapes. Definitely been a great time. So, with that, guys, we're wrapping up the show now, so I'll give you guys my words of wisdom. Guys, remember every day that we're the only ones that can choose. Yeah, let me restart that. Yeah, let me redo that. Yeah, guys, please remember that we're the masters of our own destinies. We're the only ones in this world that can pick and choose how positive or negative our days are going to be. So keep the positivity high, keep the smiles on your faces, and let that negative just brush off your shoulders. Big love, guys. Thank you all, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye! Outro. Get the outro now.
Pish flaps.
We love all the little children. I'm gonna shoot the little children now. You got a pretty mouth.
I'm waiting for him to say we're out.
Pish flaps. Good night.